Let's talk about cricket, but not just any cricket. We're diving into the moments that honestly just don't make sense. The stats, the plays, the downright bizarre flukes that sound completely made up, but I promise you, they're all real.
Okay, right off the bat, here's a question for you. How on earth can someone bowl 17 times in a single over? I mean, an over is supposed to be 6 balls, right? That's the basic rule. So what happened here? We'll get to the answer, and trust me, it's just as wild as you'd imagine.
But before we unravel that little mystery, you've got to understand that this is what cricket is all about. It's a sport that seems to thrive on these absolutely impossible moments, where you think you've seen it all, and then something else happens.
First up, let's talk about the legends. The players who got so close to statistical perfection that their stories have become a huge part of the game's history. These are the giants. So, what do you think this number is? Just sitting there on its own. It's not a score, not exactly. You could say it's the ghost of perfection, a number that has haunted cricket for decades. That number, 99.94, belonged to the one and only Sir Don Bradman. It's his final career batting average. Now get this, in his very last match, all he needed was 4 runs, just 4, to finish with a perfect average of 100. And in the most brutal twist of fate, he got out for a duck. 0. It's just the most agonizingly close miss in all of sports.
And here's another kind of near perfection, but for a bowler. Now, in a test match, there are 20 opponent wickets a team can take. Well, back in 1956, England's Jim Laker took 19 of them. By himself. Think about that. One guy was responsible for almost every single dismissal. It's a level of dominance that has just never been seen again.
Then you've got a record that might as well be perfect because, well, it seems completely unbreakable. This is Sri Lanka's Mutia Muralitharan. He took 800 test wickets. To put that in perspective, no one else has even cracked 700. It's like he set a high watermark that the sport may never reach again.
All right, so from near perfection, let's move on to the sheer forces of nature in the game. You've got the explosive, big-hitting powerhouses on one side and the unbreakable, immovable walls of defense on the other. You know, for the longest time, scoring 200 runs in a 50-over match was thought to be pretty much impossible. Then, India's Rohit Sharma came along. And he didn't just do it once. He's done it 3 times. That's not just raw power. It's the stamina to keep that power going for an entire game. Nobody else has even come close.
Now let's flip the script completely. Imagine you're a batsman facing these 2 legends, Courtney Walsh and Curtly Ambrose. In one famous, terrifying spell, they created so much pressure that they bowled 99 balls in a row without giving up a single run. That's just relentless, suffocating control.
And then you've got pure, unfiltered aggression. This is New Zealand's Brendan McCullum. In his very last test match, he just decided to go for it, smashing the fastest 100 in the history of the format. He got to 100 runs in only 54 balls. It was just a whirlwind of attacking cricket. The perfect counterpoint to McCullum's blitz is this man, Rahul Dravid, nicknamed The Wall. He wasn't about speed, he was about sheer endurance. Over his career, he faced more than 31,000 deliveries. 31,000! That's more than anyone else, and it's a monument to mental strength and pure defensive grit.
But hey, sometimes power and perfection show up in the same moment. This is India's Yuvraj Singh, living out every batter's fantasy, hitting 6 sixes in a single over. Every single ball sent sailing over the boundary. It's the ultimate rare display of perfect power.
Okay, so we've covered skill, power, and endurance. Now, let's get weird. These are the moments that just defy all logic, the kind of stuff you couldn't make up if you tried.
Remember that question from the start? Well, here's your answer. Back in 2004, Pakistan's Mohammad Sami just completely lost it. He was trying to bowl a standard 6-ball over, but he bowled 7 wides and 4 no-balls. Every single one of those is an illegal delivery, which means you have to bowl it again. The final tally? One 6-ball over took him 17 deliveries to complete. Utter chaos.
This might be one of the strangest ways to get out in any sport. This is Angelo Matthews from Sri Lanka, and he was dismissed without facing a single ball. Why? Well, his helmet strap broke as he was walking out to bat, and by the time he got it sorted, he wasn't ready to face the bowler within the 2-minute time limit. And just like that, he became the first and only player in international history to be timed out.
So a team's turn at bat, their innings, ends when they lose 10 wickets. It's incredibly rare for a team to get all out, be told to bat again immediately, and then get all out a second time, all in the same day of play. But it has happened. It's a truly humbling, catastrophic collapse for any team.
And for our final section, let's talk about the most dramatic moments of all, the impossible comebacks. These are the games that prove you can never, ever count a team out. Take a look at this stadium. It's called the Gabba in Australia, and for 32 years, the Australian team had not lost a single test match there. It was a fortress. Then, in 2021, a young, depleted Indian team, riddled with injuries, walked in and did the unthinkable. They chased down a huge score on the very last day to win one of the most iconic underdog victories ever.
And speaking of comebacks, this 2001 match is maybe the greatest of all time. India was so far behind Australia that they were forced to follow on, which means batting again right away. They were down by 274 runs, and yet somehow they not only fought their way back into the game, but actually went on to win it. It's still considered the miracle turnaround.
So what happens when an unstoppable comeback meets another unstoppable comeback? You get the 2019 World Cup Final, the biggest match in all of cricket. At the end of it all, the scores were tied. So they played a tiebreaker, a super over, to decide the winner. And guess what? That ended in a tie too. It was the most dramatic, controversial, and absolutely unforgettable finish you could ever imagine.
So after all of that, the near misses, the unbreakable records, the bizarre dismissals, and the impossible finishes, what do you even call it? I think there's only one phrase that really fits. At its absolute best, cricket is controlled chaos.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? Cricket isn't just a game of stats and rules. It's a stage for incredible human drama, where amazing skill, raw power, bizarre luck, and sheer determination all smash together to create these moments that just defy belief. From Bradman's 99.94 to a 17-ball over and a World Cup final that wouldn't end, the history of this sport is just packed with stories that feel too wild to be true. And that just leaves us all with one last question. In a game this beautifully unpredictable, what moment of controlled chaos is waiting for us just around the corner?